information about real estate. I would love to get a community of people with tons and tons of questions to ask me about real estate and what's going on in the market and how to buy a home and everything that has to do with real estate. So I've never really said everything that I do in real estate, but of course, I'm a real estate broker and I do mortgage loans. And I have a team that does the loans for us, and we help buyers buy homes. But the other thing that I'm known for is educating people. Hi, Allie, how you doing? Educating people on everything you need to know about real estate. And one of the things that comes to mind that drives me completely crazy is I was on that wonderful social media one, TikTok. And, I have all these different social medias, and you can follow me there and check out the things I say. But during the Proposition 33 event, okay, so Proposition 33 was all about landlords and tenants and California. And so I know, Allie, you're not in California, I think Arkansas. And in different states, they have different things for all the different rules and regulations. And so one of the things that I'm working on is which state is the best state to be a landlord. And it's definitely not California. I know that one of the attorneys that works with the California Association of Realtors, he sold all his rental property, he sold the home he lived in, the building for his business, picked up and went to Tennessee. And I'm going to see how he feels now because it's been about a good year. And, it's just crazy with all the rules and regulations. So in California, we had Proposition 33. And what Proposition 33 was doing was it was taking away property ownership rights. And, when you tell me how and who I can rent my property to, I think that that's so wrong in so many ways because people bought property like me 20 or 30 years ago, and people who want to be landlords or who want to have some type of retirement will have maybe the house they live in and one or two rental properties. And if you have one or two rental properties and by the time you're older and you pay off your home and you pay off your rental property, you still have to pay property taxes and homeowners insurance. And I'm doing a little bit of research for my landlords because I believe, and I know somebody who's looking it up and trying to find out what you can do about it, is once you've had your property for a certain amount of time and you have no children and you're living in your home by yourself, you can get your property taxes reduced by the amount that you're paying to the school district. So, my school district, which is right behind me, there's a school right behind me, I have been bothering them for I don't know how long to cut down the trees that's dropping crap in my property. And they don't seem to want to do it. So I guess I'll get them where their purse strings are and go straight to my tax assessor and say, hey, I've been here for 38 years. And you know what? It's time for me to stop paying for the school. But anyway, so when I was on TikTok, what happened was a young lady who thinks she knows everything about the political realm and how tenants shouldn't have to pay rent, I guess. I don't know why somebody thinks they should be able to rent a property for free. You have to realize the property is costing the property owner. So, and it's not going to be called landlords anymore. If you're getting ready to take your real estate exam, it's still going to be landlord, tenant, or leaseor and leasee. Okay, remember with the O are, you're the owner of the home. If it says lessor, that's the owner of the home. Leasee is the person leasing. Okay, so she was like all upset about landlords and tenants and lessors and lessees, and she wanted to go with Proposition 33 on a yes, and thank God it won yes, it won no. So Proposition 33, no on it, won, and that saved some of our rights as property owners. But the thing that you have to realize, it's not the small mom and pops. You guys have to realize that. The American dream, the homeownership American dream, is not being sucked up by, a couple of mom and pops who have the house they live in and a rental property. A lot of people don't know a lot of stuff. And one of the things is I want to say three huge, now I'm not going to say their names, but you can probably guess who they are, three huge property owners that own, I don't even know how many properties, probably up and above 1,500 to 2,000 properties or more. And when you have investors like that buying up all the properties everywhere, then the American dream and the homeownership, the lack of inventory is because these people are buying up all the properties and they're being permanent landlords. So you have to watch out for stuff like that. Now, a few years ago, the California Association of Realtors was trying to pass, I believe it was AB, so Assembly Bill. They were trying to pass an Assembly Bill to make it so that if I was to sell my home, I would have to give an owner occupied person the first right of refusal. So I believe it was for 30 or 45 days. So for 30 or 45 days, if I put my house on the market to sell, I had to look at people who were going to live in the property first. And so if they were going to live in the property first, it would be a homeowner and it would be, helping somebody with their American dream. However, unfortunately, it did not pass. And I think it didn't pass because a lot of people felt, well, you can't tell me who I can sell my home to. But now we have to look at reality. And reality is the American dream is going away and people need to open their eyes. And, I think the problem is that AB bill, it included investors who were flipping homes. Now, small investors who are buying a house to fix it and make it amazing, to sell it then to a homeowner that's homeowner occupied, that should have been included. But the problem is whenever we come up with an AB or an Assembly bill or a Senate bill, an SB, whenever we come up with that, sometimes there's little problems, little pockets that make it so it's not the perfect one. So you have to keep up on what's happening with your state rules and legislation, and you have to keep up with what's happening with the United States and the rules and regulations, what's happening when you want to be a homeowner or a property owner. So one of the things that happened, so we did get Proposition 33. The California Association of Realtors stood behind it, backed it. In fact, we had people that were ambassadors to it. I was an ambassador to Proposition 33, and it passed. It didn't pass, which is what we wanted. We wanted no on 33. But then we wanted yes on 34. And yes on 34 was there's people who raise money for nonprofits, and they're supposed to use that money for the intended use of their nonprofit. However, Michael Weinstein, who was the AIDS Foundation, who still is the AIDS Foundation person, what he does is he actually gets drugs for AIDS at a discount, a huge discount. And he's supposed to be promoting to help people with AIDS. And what he does is he gets those drugs for a lower discount price because he gets a bunch of it. And then he sells it to the people who have AIDS and makes money off of them, which, yeah, you can make some money, but he's making a lot of money off of them because he's the one that was going up against landlords all the time, constantly with the money from the AIDS Foundation. So that money shouldn't be going towards fighting landlords and property owners. That money should be going towards the AIDS Foundation. So Proposition 34, we wanted yes on 34 because that said if you have a nonprofit, then the money from the nonprofit should go towards the nonprofit. Now, happy to announce for those of you who don't follow right along what's happening in the housing market is, I think it was back in the 90s, they set the price for the capital gains. And a lot of people don't know this. And there's so much that people don't know that you need to know, especially if you're elderly and you want to downsize and you don't think you can. I can't tell you how many people I talk to that don't think that they can sell their home and move on to the next home. It's called right sizing, not downsizing, because a right size means, look, I had a nice large home when I raised my family. Now my kids are grown up and moved out. Now I want to downsize to a size that's better for me. And that's not downsizing, it's right sizing. It's making my home the size that I need it so that I could retire in it. And a lot of people don't think they can do that. Let me make sure that you understand how it works. First of all, a lot of people say that, well, I don't want to sell my house because of my tax base. I bought my house for $350,000. I'm only paying, let's say, $6,500 a year in property taxes. If I sell my house now because it's worth way more and I buy a home that's equal to it that's way more, my property taxes are going to go to $30,000 a year or $20,000 a year. Okay, if you're over 55, your property taxes are not going to go up. You can take your tax base with you if you're over 55. Now, the other thing that just changed that you really need to know about is, yay, more homes on the market pass. More homes on the market made it. So when you sell your property, so originally, if you own a property and you live in it for 2 of the last 5 years, you get the first $500,000 tax-free, no capital gains. That's what it used to be. If you were married and both of you and your husband lived in the property for 2 of the last 5 years. If you were single, it was $250,000. Well, the good news is more homes on the market push that number up because that number hadn't been changed in over 22 years. And so now, if you sell your home, follow me, if you lived in it for 2 of the last 5 years and you sell your home now and you have a capital gain, if you're married and both of you are on title, you get the first $1 million tax free. That saves you like $300,000. So think of that. Put them together. You can take it, sell your house. You don't have capital gains, and you can take your tax base with you. Why do baby boomers not know this? So I specialize in baby boomers, I specialize in divorces, and I specialize in probate. So those are the three things that I do very, very well. And I teach you guys all about real estate very, very well. So what I want you to do is I want you to take my classes, because my classes will make you not just a real estate investor, but a licensed real estate investor. And my classes start tonight. Tonight we have a class starting at 6 p.m. It goes to 9:30 p.m. and it's Monday through Thursday. And we will have that class, and then we will not have a class that following weekend, and then we'll have some more classes. You can go to our website and see when we teach. It's passwithsharon.com. We also have classes that will help you be a better realtor and understand how to be a better salesperson. That class is called Steps to Success. So we're here to help you. I mean, if you're looking for help in anything that has to do with real estate, the other thing that we're working on is, how is the best way to put your property? Should you have it in a living trust? Or should you have it in an LLC? If you have any questions, feel free to put them in my comments, because if they're in the comments, I see them, I answer them, I reach out to you, and we're here to help you. So like I said, baby boomers, people that want to get their real estate license, people that are thinking about selling but don't think they can. So I want to bring up some little controversial things, like something that I'm going to talk about the American dream. And who knows, maybe I can help people figure out how to vote for the right things to make sure that you get your American dream. Have an amazing day. Watch for me here on Making Money in Real Estate. Bye.